You're listening to a production of the National Media Archive. To learn more or volunteer, go to nationalmediaarchive.com.
Let's kick off with the science. How does a storm like Irma evolve from a blip on the radar to a major hurricane with 150 yaon-mile-r winds? Meteorologists use the Saffir-Simpson-Scalia hurricane rating tool much like car horsepower charts to track that rapidly rising threat. When wind speeds hit 74 miles per hour, you've got a hurricane. At 111 miles per hour, it's a Category 3, considered major. Irma's rapid intensification was the stuff of weather textbooks, fueled by warm sea surface temperatures and low vertical wind shear. Have you ever wondered why some storms fizzle while others explode? It's all about the right recipe. And as Irma barreled toward the Lesser Antilles, you could almost feel the tension building. Would it keep strengthening? Spoiler, it did. Picture this. Florida officials issue mandatory evacuations in the Keys. Now, you might be thinking, are these warnings overblown? Not at all. Emergency managers rely on real-time satellite imagery like weather's version of MRI scans to judge risk. When Irma's projected path shifted, the urgency kicked into overdrive. People packed highways, seeking shelter inland. Have you ever been stuck in evacuation traffic? It's nerve-wracking, especially with supermarket shelves stripped bare and gas stations running on empty. These warnings save lives, but the stress is palpable. And as the storm's approach became certain, the entire state braced for a worst-case scenario. Now, let's zoom in on a place you might not expect, Walt Disney World. You heard right, Disney, the happiest place on Earth, directly in the storm's path. When Irma threatened, Disney officials made an unprecedented call to close the parks for 2 days. Imagine the logistics of theme park is like a small city. They implemented their hurricane protocol, a set of detailed operational guidelines akin to a pilot's pre-flight checklist. You might ask, why close for so long? The answer, guest and employee safety, plus time for cleanup. It was only the 5th full closure in Disney World's history. Even the fireworks took a rain check. Let me tell you a story. On the day Irma struck, I changed my hotel plans last minute, booking into Disney's Contemporary Resort. Why? Concrete construction and advanced stormproofing. Think of it as a fortress with magic. Disney parked monorails in the lobby as a safety precaution, turning transportation icons into gigantic windbreakers. As the storm raged, the Magic Kingdom castle went dark a surreal sight. The winds howled, the stairwells turned into waterfalls. Yet inside, we felt secure. That's the power of design wind load calculations, and reinforced structures can make all the difference. So, what's it really like to shelter in place during a hurricane? Inside the resort, Disney cast members think of them as hospitality first responders worked tirelessly. They distributed food, kept spirits up, and communicated updates. The air was tense but controlled. You could feel the collective anxiety, but also a sense of camaraderie. Ever wonder how hotels keep power during a storm? Backup generators' massive batteries on standby. The Contemporary didn't lose electricity, a huge relief compared to the widespread outages elsewhere in Florida. It was one of the safest places to be during Irma's fury. The morning after was astonishing crews, armed with chainsaws and cherry pickers, were already clearing fallen trees and debris. Disney's recovery protocol is like a military operation, swift, efficient, and coordinated. Within hours, pathways were clear. You might ask, how is that possible? It comes down to disaster preparedness, pre-positioned equipment, and organized response teams. This is a real-world application of business continuity planning, a term borrowed from finance and tech. The parks reopened quickly, minimizing downtime and restoring the magic almost overnight. Ever wondered how structures at Disney stand up to hurricane-force winds? The answer lies in engineering principles like shear walls. Think of them as the bones of a building designed to resist lateral forces and impact-resistant glass, which won't shatter like a car window. Theme parks in Florida are built to some of the toughest codes in the nation. During Irma, these features were tested. At the Contemporary Resort, walls stayed dry for the most part, but public walkways weren't immune to water intrusion. It's a real-life lesson in risk management and why code compliance matters. Let's take a moment for gratitude. The real heroes during a crisis, the cast members and first responders. They stayed on site, away from their own families, ensuring guests were safe, fed, and informed. It's easy to overlook the human element in disaster response, but their commitment is the backbone of any successful operation. Have you ever thanked someone working during a crisis? If not, next time you see a security guard, janitor, or front desk clerk during an emergency, say thanks. Their work is essential and often goes unseen. Now, let's widen the lens. While Disney weathered the storm, Irma devastated communities in the Caribbean and southern Florida. Category 4 and 5 winds think of a giant blender-leveled homes and infrastructure. The term storm surge refers to a tsunami-like rise in sea level, flooding entire neighborhoods. For some, recovery will take years, not days. If you've ever wondered how you can help, consider supporting reputable relief funds. Even a small donation can make a big difference for families rebuilding from scratch. So, what can we take away from Irma? Preparation saves lives, whether it's personal emergency kits or large-scale evacuations. Understanding meteorological terms like cone of uncertainty, the predicted path's margin of error can help you make informed decisions. My advice? Don't wait for the last minute. Have a plan, stay informed, and support your community. And remember, resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about learning, adapting, and being ready for whatever nature throws our way. Stay safe, everyone, and thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the storm behind the magic.